Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Tactics Talk. I have Nona Manadus. I always mess this up. Nona Manadus. Got it. From clan HBG. Is it HBG? It's HBG. I got that right as well. I should really restart this intro. It's not very good. But anyway, I'm too tired. I don't want to. Proc. He is on Proc. They have spawned into the North spawn. It is an encounter mode. And Nona is headed to the 5-6. Which is a critical piece. This map requires, as I've said over and over again, and for you new players who haven't heard this, requires all three sides to be manned and played correctly to win. You can do it with two, but you've got to do it fast. And if the other team is doing well on the flank you're ignoring, you can be in trouble. But he is headed up to the 5-6, and that is a spot that I recommend for heavies, even for mediums, because it is a very controlling spot for the map. But unfortunately, Nona is on Proc with 3 artillery each side. Not only 3 artillery, it's a tier 10 and 2 tier 9 artilleries on the enemy side. He's attempting to not be spotted as best as possible, going through bushes. Please don't shoot me. Nona, I'll tell you what, I usually go in the lower spot down here. And the reason for that is it's easier for someone to top the hill and spot me because my turret's higher right here. I feel like if I'm down a little lower, maybe somebody doesn't quite get their spotting point up above, and in that case maybe that guy doesn't spot me if I'm down below, and you immediately get a T92 HMC shot. And one of the reasons I'm showing this is to discuss a little bit about how to not get oh boy, how to not get hit by artillery even though you're going to critical terrain and you know that the artillery is going to be looking there. Somebody has to do it. And unfortunately, only Nona in his tier 8 was willing to go here. You've got a bunch of guys camping in the back, as usual. You have a very aggressive T62A getting up on top, which I appreciate. And he's clicking now on the 5-6 because he wants somebody to light it up so he has shots. Then he loses his mind, Deroid, and actually gets up on top. Problem is, he's so fast that the enemy team, whatever they've sent up there, has not arrived yet. And as soon as they do, with their gun depression, he's going to start eating shots just like that. There they are. He's out in the open flat, and he's in big trouble. So Nona starts looking for these turret shots, these side shots. This is a nicely laid shot. Puts one in, backs up. And he has gone dark to artillery, so the artillery is not shooting him. And as long as he works this carefully, you see those bushes in front of him, he only comes up enough, but oh man, there's somebody somehow sees him. And I imagine it's somebody behind those bushes back there, topping over where he is. We'll find out what it is in just a moment. There's another tank there. And what I'm going to say is be careful about backing up so much where you again give them an opportunity to see you. That's why I stay down in this pit as much as I can. As a matter of fact, if that starts happening and there's somebody just with their spotting point high enough to see me every time I get up here, I'll go over this way. So get over here. There's more of that angle of the ground right there, and it'll protect you a little bit from him seeing you. And these buildings will also provide a little bit of blocking of the line of sight for his spotting point to seeing you. And you can get down in this little hole for a moment and make him stop spotting you. If you back up too much, you're going to give him another opportunity. And since you did get spotted, there's our friend, the 212. So he has now been shot at by all 3 enemy artillery. His spot is a extremely likely spot for them to be looking for enemy tanks on the 5-6. So if you go here, you have to expect you're going to be shot at and probably hit, because that's what artillery does now. It splashes everything in sight. It might have been that T92. I don't know if you were high enough though for him to be seeing you, although he could have been up near the bushes. But there is a T26 E5 right there, and more than likely that's the guy that's been seeing you. So unfortunately you were able to also spot him. But here's the T92 running through. You're probably thinking that was him anyway, so a little bit of revenge. But unfortunately, we know we're spotted. So we kind of move over here now. Backing around, just hoping the artillery isn't shooting at us. Because you'd been dark long enough, they may have got disinterested and looked somewhere else. And that looks to be the case. But you've just been spotted. So now you've got to have it in the back of your head. Holy crap, I've just been spotted. I bet somebody came over here and is looking around and hoping that that T92 or the T26 E5 will light you again. Or perhaps you'll come up and get spotted trying to get a shot. That's about the time right there in your mind where they will get disinterested, and unfortunately there he is. We've been spotted. Let's see if the artillery had shifted over. Appears not, but now you've been spotted twice in a relatively short span of time. There we go. There was one. And now we're down 1,200 of our hit points to artillery only, trying to hold one of the critical spots. And that would be why people like the Panther 2 and the Patton, although the Patton may be AFK, I don't think he's moved. And and then we get spotted. And that's basically one of the biggest ideas of this video right here. The reason you got spotted there is you drove so far back, you gave that T-2065 a better angle to see you, and as soon as you popped into that angle, lit up, and now you're bumming. So that's why you've got to, in the case of trying to hide here from Hardy and work as best you can, stay alive, this spot here is pretty much the place to be. Boom, boom. You may even still be spotted as you're driving up, or somebody has a nice timing. I think what happens is you come up here and the T-25, T-2065, or what is this thing? T-26, yeah, so it was him. He ends up spotting him. Unfortunately, your hill guys weren't able to take that guy out and make him go away. But that's that duel. That is that duel right there between the teams on the 5-6 line, where you're attempting to spot them and get them dead and survive, and they're attempting to spot you and get you dead and survive. And then once this center point is taken, which the Reds have just done, and they've got the other two flanks, that's one flank one, unless somebody flexes over here and fills in that spot. It's still early in the game, so they can't immediately take the strength of this win over here and just push straight through and kill you off. But it does give them freedom of maneuver on their side to take shots on your hill guys, which looks like they've already been pushed off, or they're retreating. So what's going on here? The 257's moved back a little bit. So your team's already back on its heels just a little bit. There's enough guns left in the game to save it, depending on who goes where from here, but it's not looking really great. So hopefully you guys learned something right there. I like that everybody sends in both good and bad plays. Nona had some choice words on this one, which I won't repeat. I completely understand his frustration right here, having been completely destroyed by artillery minus the whole 75 kill shot from the M41 Rev. Most artillery fans will say, well, don't get spotted, learn how to play, learn how to avoid. Okay, got it. That's how you minimize artillery. You simply cannot completely avoid it. However, what we talked about will help you, I think, minimize a little bit more, especially in this particular position, if you understand how you were getting spotted and how you avoid doing that to the best capability. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, we will see you.